I've got a question for you, Nick.
All right, bring it.
Elly De La Cruz is
Yes.
a freak, but he's hitting 215. Is Elly De La Cruz the player we think he is?
As far as
Overall. Oh,
what?
is he that next level generational talent people have been talking about? Or is he just another guy who's gonna show you some cool stretches of time?
I think yes to both. And I say that because like you're gonna see weeks where no one's gonna be able to get him out. No one's gonna be able to keep him in the ballpark. And if you do keep him in the ballpark, he's gonna steal all four bases each trip around the. Um, I don't know. Like, are we 215 because it's our second year in the league? People are starting to learn how to pitch to us. I mean, look at Corbin Carroll in Arizona.
Yeah, so sorry,
Um,
he's 235. I flipped the number there.
Whatever, 235. I mean, still
Yep.
same thing. Corbin Carroll struggling in Arizona because people are learning how to pitch to him.
Yep.
Like the sophomore slump is a real thing.
It
Like
is.
the pitchers make adjustments. It's up to the hitters to go back and make that adjustment to get, back on the other side of that. He's electric. He's absolutely electric. Every ground ball that's hit to him, I go, all right, how fast is this laser going across the infield? That one was
Yep.
clocked at only 148, dude. Weak sauce.
Yep.
A absolute cannon, absolute wheels. He's electrifying to watch. I could watch that guy all the time. 235 isn't exactly what you want out of him. I think he's got a high ceiling, but I guess give a middleman Dan answer. You're welcome, Sean. I think we will see stretches, but he is what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think he's going to wow you for a little while, then he's going to disappear because over his last 30 games he's hit 195. Last 15 games he's at 138. Last 7 games he's at 148. The problem is he strikes out in at least a third of his at bats, if not closer to half of his at bats. The strikeout rate's way too high. He's not getting on base. He's on base at a 331 clip, which is not bad. You'd think he'd be a little higher than that given all the things he can do. But there's some comments coming out of the Reds organization that there is a level of frustration with him because he's just not showing progress. Granted, he debuted last year. This is not a guy who's played hundreds of games,
Right?
but if anything, I feel like he's going backwards. Too many strikeouts. He's chasing too many pitches, taking too many good ones. He hits the ball 120 miles an hour sometimes, but he also swings and misses more often than not. And there's a feeling inside the organization that there's a level of frustration building up that he's not progressing. But he is electric. And I've heard, somebody came out the other day and said he's basically Billy Hamilton all over again with a little bit of power. Yeah, he can steal a bunch of bases. He can make some cool plays in the outfield, but he can't get on base enough to make that matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. He is absolutely an electric player. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's frustrating because he chases really bad pitches, and then will take good pitches. He doesn't seem to read pitches well. His timing is not great. He's also very young, so I think but he's only 22, and this is his second season. So this is not a guy with a ton of experience, but he's got some amazing raw skills. And I think the Reds' frustration is not yet warranted. If we're sitting here this time next year and he's still hitting 235 and striking out 50% of the time, yeah, okay, you've got the right to get frustrated, but it's still too soon to.
You gotta find that one hitting coach that can click with him, right? Or it doesn't even have to be a hitting coach. Just find that one guy that's like, hey, like this is the approach we're gonna take, and maybe coachability is an issue for De La Cruz. I don't know him personally, obviously.
No.
That's why we're sitting here talking about him instead of being on the bench. But you just got to find that one guy like, hey, let's try to approach this at bat differently. We're trying to get on base and use your tools, right? If you're swinging and missing, you're not getting on. I mean, look at what Ichiro is able to do. Like if he got down in the count, he would literally just slap it to the left side and get to first base and beat it out. And 60% of the time because he had
Tony Gwynn did the same thing. Choke up and just drop it out there.
Yeah, I don't even have to drop it out there for like Ichiro and De La Cruz. De La Cruz takes 5 strides and he's to each the next base.
Right.
I mean, the guy's 7 feet tall. which
Yeah,
is
this
another issue too, because you just throw the ball anywhere near the plate and it's a strike on that dude because
yeah,
he's massive. But I don't
the
know.
one thing David Bell said that was concerning was that he's not adjusting. They don't think he's adjusting, and he approaches every swing like it's a 2-0 fastball. He's got one speed. He doesn't choke up. He doesn't slow down. He doesn't look for contact. He's just trying to hit the ball 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
And maybe
Which
he is. He's young and dumb like they all are, and he just wants to go out and put up do crazy things. There's a level of maturity you need to get to that point where you're willing to just take a single.
it's
But
maturity, but that's also how the game is being played now.
true, there's a
Like
level of that.
you have to that might not be what the Reds need at this point, and that's what's frustrating about it. But
Yep.
listen, singles don't get you paid in the MLB.
They don't.
Stolen bases, home runs, doubles, all those extra base hits, that's what gets you the big payday.
Yep.
And that's honestly some of these guys, that's all they care about, to be honest. Like they don't really care about winning. They may just want to put up the numbers and go home every day. And then, when their 6-year free agency status hits and they get that big paycheck, that's all that matters to them.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it. The pitching is just so damn good
Yep.
that it's easier to hit one solo shot off a guy than it is to string 5 hits together.
Yep.
Like
100%.
and so the approach has changed at the plate. So yeah, it's not what you want out of the guy, but
Yeah, I get the red stance, but I think it's too soon to be saying that
yeah,
you don't think he's going to adjust and become the player you think he is. He's only 22. It's his second season. You got to give the kid some time.
yeah, I agree with you fully. So